Well, good morning, good afternoon, or maybe it's even good evening for you, depending on when you are punching in and checking out this video. Hey, it's crazy, but it is April 19th today when I'm recording this video. And we wanted to give you a little bit of an update on where we have been and where we're going, looking ahead. The spring is officially here. Summer will be here soon. And we have a lot of things to talk about in regards to Community Gospel Church. So before we get into that, though, let's go back and let's talk a little bit about how amazing April was. What a fantastic opportunity that we had. Good Friday services. We had Sunday morning services for Easter sunrise as well as Resurrection Sunday. And then, we also had the opportunity to play the Jesus Revolution movie for people in Bremen. We had almost 800 people who came through. Let's see, you had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then 2 services on Sunday. So we had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 2 services on Sunday. That's five services. A little slow on the math today, but 800 people coming through 5 services. We got an opportunity to share the gospel with those people, hand out Bibles. What a fantastic opportunity that was. And a good opportunity for us to make some connections with the Bremen people as well who run the theater and just some other local community members. So thank you for all who came out and had the opportunity to participate in that, as well as Easter Sunday. We had a lot of people who just talked about Easter this year. It was a really interesting year in regards to the fact that Easter and spring break and then our budget were all kind of within the same couple of weeks, which made for some interesting endeavors, but we got a good chance to see some familiar faces, as well as get an opportunity to see some new faces too, and have people connect in that way. So great Easter, great opportunity to celebrate the resurrection, and good opportunity for us to continue to communicate clearly that we celebrate the resurrection 52 weeks out of the year. We're always coming together on Sunday, having that community together and being able to connect to make Christ known both near and far. So that was the first part of April. And then we're in the second part of April, which means we're talking about Deuteronomy. We got 2 services in Deuteronomy, and then we're looking at our Family Sunday, which is going to be on April 30th. And so that's going to be a good chance for us to go back into the Psalms, because as we talked about a little bit, I think this was about a month ago when our last Sunday was actually, or our last Family Sunday was actually, it was a couple months ago. We talked about how we're pausing our Deuteronomy series and going into Psalms and spending a Sunday in the Psalms. So that's going to be a good chance for us to welcome our littles back in. We're actually going to be looking at Psalm 91, which is going to be a great opportunity for us too as well. In April, we're seeing some of our ministry's season come to a close. So things like Club Elevate and things like Velocity, their seasons are going to come to a close, because that's how we kind of run those ministries in regards to the school year. But that does not mean we necessarily stop everything as we're looking into the second half of spring and summer. We're still going to have opportunities that are going to manifest themselves. So make sure that you're paying attention to the midweek communication. And if you don't have the midweek communication, make sure that you're getting involved in that by checking that box when the offering goes around. That bottom slip of that bottom portion of that slip, tear that off, put that in the offering, and make sure that you're a part of that midweek communication, because that's going to be so important to keeping you updated with everything that's going on in regards to Community Gospel. Women's Mugs and Muffins have been going fantastic. We've gotten a lot of good feedback from women in the church who are connecting in that way. Men's ministry has a conference coming up, so make sure that you sign up for that. And then we also wanted to let you know, even though our small groups are coming into a summer season where that means a lot of them kind of downshift for a second, Pastor John's doing something really interesting, which is he's doing this thing called Discover Groups. And so this is for you who maybe are curious about small groups. You're not in a small group, maybe you're new to the church, and you want to kind of know what the church is all about, but you also want to kind of know how small group ministry works. This is going to be a good chance for you to sign up and participate in that. It's going to be during the 9 o'clock hour. May, June, and it's going to give you the chance to really see how group life works, as well as other areas in the church too as well. We have a sign up for that on our website, communitygospelchurch.com. All the other signups are there too as well. And then, so women's is going really well. Men's is going fantastic. And then InReach is kind of looking at some things in regards to celebrating our 10-year anniversary for sports camp. We're just going to put a pin in that conversation, talk about that next month because sports camp is coming up soon. And then Kate and Jason Fisher are actually going to take on our assimilations ministry. And so they're working with Pastor John in regards to working just on helping people get from the front door to the pew, and just making sure that we're doing things in a God-honoring way that helps people mature and grow in their relationship with Christ, as well as come to know Jesus as Lord and Savior too. So that's I don't want to say it's a new ministry. We've kind of had pieces of that in reach, but now we're looking at that in a little bit different way in regards to these two things functioning with their responsibilities and whatnot in there. So that's great. Looking forward, as we kind of look into May, we're going to be in Deuteronomy for sure. And then it's crazy. We're kind of getting to the point where we're finishing up that study, but we're going to pause on May 14th because that's going to be Mother's Day, which means we do baby dedications. So if you're a member of Community Gospel Church and you are interested in dedicating your child, let us know. Again, the bottom portion of the slip is going to be the best way to do that. You can email us too at admin@cgccommunity.com and let us know if you're interested. We'll get a hold of you, contact you, and kind of walk you through that process and give you a little bit more information so that you can be aware of what it looks like and why we dedicate children. So Deuteronomy, then we're going to pause. We're going to do a special Sunday for Mother's Day. We're actually going to be looking at a passage in Romans chapter 15, verse 13, and then back into Deuteronomy, and then we'll spend a couple of weeks finishing that series up, and then we got something special in July. But we're going to put a pin in that too as well, and we'll talk about it later. The budget has passed. That's exciting. We're seeing a lot of projects go on. You probably noticed the front door and the back door that have been changed, and so that's good. That gives just an update to that facade, but also gives a little bit added security to our building. And then with the budget passing, we are looking at chairs and carpet and some sanctuary renovations too as well. I know, we think to ourselves like, oh, it's going to happen like right now. But in reality, these things still take time. And living in this post-COVID world, we're realizing that some things are still a little bit back-ordered. So I don't know if you knew this or not, but our doors, front and back doors, they took about a year to get installed. And then when we look at the sanctuary seating, we're looking at about September, October before that's going to be installed too as well. So just be patient, but that is coming, and that is exciting. That's our living room, that's where we meet together and gather together, and we're excited to be able to update that space, and we're excited to see those things kind of have a fresh look. I remember when we recarpeted the platform up front, just the entire smell of the church changed, which was crazy, but it smells fresh and it smells clean. So looking forward to that happening in the sanctuary too as well. And then this is great. If you were with us last year, you remember it was hot in the sanctuary. We have brand new ACs. The Lord has provided those for us, and so we have the opportunity to get those fired up. Our friends over at Tyler Heating and Cooling, they were just in the building the other day, and they said, you're good to go. And so, man, it's going to be nice and cool on those hot days in the sanctuary too as well. Hey, if you are just a part of our family, friends and family. We just want to say thank you so much, not just for monetary gifts, but just for being consistent and being faithful all throughout these years and having the opportunity to make Christ known with you. It just warms Bethany and I's heart. It's such a joy and an honor and a privilege to serve the Lord together. I only hit on a few things that are happening in and around the church, but there's so many other things that are transpiring, even with our people outside. You're sharing the gospel, you're communicating that to people, you're having the opportunity to evangelize, but also to edify. And that is exactly what we're all about in making Christ known near and far. So thank you for using your gifts, your talents, your time, your ability. Thanks for monetary gifts. Thanks for continuing to be so faithful and consistent. I would say just keep that up as we continue to see these big things happening and Christ being made known both near and far. As always, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to get a hold of us. You can see all the elders as well as our leadership, all the contact information for myself as well as our church office is right there in the slip. So by all means, if you have questions, comments, or concerns, you get a hold of me, an elder, or contact the church office, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. But until then, I am praying for just a continued opportunity this spring to not only plant, but also to harvest some of that fruit and just see Christ known more and more as we see that day approaching. So I'm praying for you, and I hope you have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening. And I can't wait to see you Sunday, if not sooner. We'll talk to you soon. God bless.